guess we're going to start, and if anyone joins, I think they can probably catch up from where we are. So welcome to our first webinar. As I just mentioned, this is our first webinar, so bear with us. Fingers crossed we get all the technical things right. I'm going to start by introducing myself and Brooklyn. Both of us are part of your customer success team. We are here to help with any questions. We help with training, we help with setup, all of that good stuff. Both of us actually come to Indexic from previous jobs within the tour industry. So we have worked firsthand within the system, and we've also got day-to-day hands-on experience within the tour industry. So we have a general idea of things and how they're going for you on your end. All right, this webinar is going to cover the basics of reservations, adding reservations, taking payments, editing those reservations. We're going to go over a couple of different sections, and we're going to do it section at a time. At the end of each section, we're just going to pause, so if there's any questions, you guys can go ahead and ask them. There is a little chat icon at the top of the screen. So if you've got any questions, just hit that, type your question in, and we'll be able to answer at the end of each section. So let me start by sharing my screen. Hopefully everyone can see a reservations calendar. So I'm going to start by, this is your reservations calendar. Your reservations calendar is where you're going to see existing reservations. It can be viewed in month, day, week, whichever is best for your preferences. I've always worked personally in month view, so that's just how mine is set up, but you can change yours to whatever is better for you. To change things, you're going to pop up to here, which is going to have your name on it, and there's a preference setting. In your preference setting, you can change your phone number or your email that's in the system. You can also come to your view options, and this is where you can change your default calendar view from month to day to week, the first day of the week that appears on your calendar. If you want to see everything that your company offers, or if you have different groups, you can select that as well. Okay, this is how you get back to your reservations calendar up here, this top left-hand button, kind of like your home button. So, as I said, my calendar is in month view. The month view is going to concertina down and hide previous weeks. So if things have happened in the past, you can always click and see them, but it's going to default just to showing you the week you're on so that you know where you are in the month. The current day is going to be bright yellow, just so it takes you straight away to where you are in the month as well. Your reservations calendar is going to default just to show you events and dates and times that have existing reservations. If you look at a day that has nothing on it, so let's just jump through into July, 8th, 9th, 10th of July, for example, they have nothing on them. Doesn't mean there's no availability. It just means that you don't have any existing reservations for those dates. Each of your different events are going to be color coded. Again, just to make it a little easier for you at a glance to see which activity is going on. And these are customizable. You can edit them to change them to different colors if you prefer. Right, jumping into the reservations, you're going to see here tomorrow we have a tour. It's going out at 10 o'clock. If you hover over the actual reservation, it's going to give you some more details regarding that reservation. So it's telling me that this is a reservation for tours. It's at 10 a.m. The status of the actual activity is open. I've sold 9 tickets. There's 3 remaining, and then there's 4 reservations that make up those 9 tickets. If you are using personnel module and you've assigned any staff to it, it's also going to show you who the member of staff is working that particular tour. Other things that you can see at a glance on this particular calendar. If you have this dark blue box here, that means that particular event date and time is sold out. And orange down here, this big orange one, that's just showing you that that particular date and time has been made unavailable. As I said, dates in the past are hidden, but you can click on them and it's just going to show you what happened on that date and time as well. I will just quickly jump into week view so you can see how a week view looks. And then for those of you who are working in a day view, this is how your day view looks. It will just stack everything down. Day view is often a better view if you are working on a cell phone and you're literally just checking people in or seeing what's coming that day. Like I say, mine's always defaulting to month because that's just how I've always worked. So that's a quick overview of the actual reservations calendar. Before we move on to the next section, does anyone have any questions about that at all?
We do not have any questions.
Okay. All right, I'm going to pass it off to Brooklyn then. And she's just going to go over how to take reservations for phone reservations, or if you have any walk-ups, and how to add those manual reservations.
Perfect. So there are two ways to make manual reservations. One of the ways is by adding a reservation directly on the calendar, and another way is by adding it from the events list. I'm going to start by making a reservation from an existing tour day. So I'm going to click on the day and time I want to make a new reservation for. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click New Reservation, and I'm going to put in the contact details right in here. After I select the number of tickets, I'm going to click the Save button, and I'm going to add it to the shopping cart. As you can see in here, there is quite a few things that you guys can do in the shopping cart that we're going to cover a little later on. For this tour, I have 2 adults and 2 children tickets. If you guys offer coupons, they will already have been set up for you guys. So all you need to do is click on the Add Coupons and click on Apply next to whichever coupon you guys want to add to the shopping cart. I'm going to do the $5 off one. So as you guys can see, a $10 discount has been applied since I have those 2 adults. At this point, I can also add any add-ons that I have. So if you guys have any merchandise, you guys are just going to click in the merchandise section right here. At the top, the first thing you're going to do is select whether or not you want to associate it to part of the reservation. For this one, I'm going to add a photo package and I'm going to associate it with the reservation. But if you were just adding a bottle of water or chips or anything, I wouldn't necessarily associate it. Now that everything is going to be in my shopping cart, I'm going to go ahead and click on the checkout button right here. And then let's say they're paying a credit card. So I'm going to select that and then put in their card number right in here. Once you hit process payment, it will let you know that the payment has went through by giving you this green check mark right here. The second way to make a reservation is by going to your event list. This method is often better if you guys are offering rentals, as this method will check the availability of the resource for the rental duration as well as the start date. I'm going to click on New Reservation next to the event I want to make a reservation for. So in this case, the 4-seater golf cart. I'm going to click on the day, the duration, and how many number of carts, and then click See Available Times. From here, I'm going to select the time. I'm going to put in my contact details again, and then I'm going to hit Save Reservation. For this reservation, I'm going to check out as cash. So what I'm going to do is whenever I click checkout, I'm going to choose the cash option right here. As you can see, my total is $321. Let's say that they give us $350. The system will generate the change due for you so you know how much to give back. And then it'll let you know that that payment has processed. Whichever way you guys add a reservation, once you have checked the customer out, they will receive an email of their receipt with all of the event details on it. Are there any questions that anyone has about adding a reservation?
Looks like we don't have any questions at the moment.
Perfect.
Okay. So now that we've actually made some reservations, we can move on to the inevitable situation of having to amend a reservation or edit a reservation. Obviously, there's many reasons that you're going to need to amend, change, edit reservations. People may want to add more tickets to their reservations. They may want to change the date and time that they've actually made with you, or they may want to switch to a completely different activity within your system. From your reservations calendar, there's a search function up here, and you can always search by person's name, their reservation number, their email, their phone number, and it'll dynamically search and find whatever else it is you're looking for. For example, if I type in here Charles, it's going to go away, and we only have one reservation that matches that, which is on this date here. It's June the 28th at 10 a.m. So I'm just going to go to that reservation, Now, if I want to move this reservation to a new date and time, very, very simple. All we're going to do is click here, the selection box, and then I'm going to select my new date and time. So I'm currently booked for the 28th at 10 a.m. I want to move to the 29th at 11 a.m. It will prompt me to just confirm that's what I want to do. And then it's going to ask me if I want to send a confirmation of the new date and time. And then I confirm. As you can see, once I've moved it, the reservations just jumped straight over here. This ticket count has gone down to 0. They've got a new date and time, and they've also received that new update. Now, you can actually move more than one reservation at a time. So if you're looking at a tour, this is again tomorrow's example, at 10 a.m. If I'm moving everybody on the trip, because the whole trip has to go to a new date and time, and luckily everyone's happy to move to the new date and time that's the same as everybody else's, I can select all of them in one go. Same thing, I'm going to pick my new date and time. I'm confirming that's what I want to do. I'm going to send everybody a confirmation, and then it's just going to move everybody in one go for me. Obviously, that works both ways. You can just do 2 people, you can do 1 person, you can do the whole list if you need to do. Now, the other thing you can do is move people from one activity or event to a completely different one. So as an example of that, I'm just going to go back to my King Charles reservation I have here for a 4-passenger golf cart rental. So an example being that they've called in, they've made a reservation for a 4-passenger. They now want to actually upgrade that, and they want to move to the 6-passenger. This is when you're going to use this move button here. This move button is moving between different events rather than just moving to a new date and time. So I'm going to select that I want to move it. I'm going to move it to the 6 passengers. Then it's going to ask me what day I'd like to have the reservation. I'm going to pick the same day because it's going to be Saturday the 29th. They originally had a 3-day, so I'm going to do a 3-day again. They originally had 11 o'clock. That is not available, but they're happy to go at 4 o'clock. And we have moved them. As you can see, everything has moved to that new event. The person's name, phone number, contact details. It's got the same reservation number. So everything is just moved. It's just the new activity. Now, because I've moved to this activity and I've upgraded, I now have a balance due because the 6-passenger car is obviously more expensive than the 4-passenger. If I want to go ahead and take payment for that, this icon here is your add to shopping cart. So I'm going to pop the reservation straight into the shopping cart. It's going to pull it through, and it's going to show me here how much the upgrade is with my taxes. I'm going to check out. And because this person had already booked online, we have a card on file. So I'm confirming they want to use the same card, which is card ending 4242. And then I can just go ahead and process the payment. That is then going to take the upgraded charge to the card on file. It's going to update our reservation to show that it's now a fully paid reservation, and they'll get a receipt emailed to them as well with their new charges on there. Any questions I can answer at this point about moving either reservations to a new date and time or moving reservations to a new activity?
No questions yet?
Okay. I'm going to hand off to Brooklyn, and she's going to go over some other details of the shopping cart.
Moving reservations is just one part of editing the reservations. You guys have also, you may also have to edit the existing reservations. So if someone has already paid or anything, a good example is adding tickets to a reservation. So for example, this reservation at the bottom has 3 adult tickets. If you guys want to add 2 adult tickets to it, all you would do is click on the reservation number, click on this edit button right here next to check-in. And then where it says select rate, you're going to choose the children 3 and under, and I'm going to do 2. You can also write any comments in here if you guys need to have anything for a certain reservation, along with editing emails or phone numbers. If there is a balance due, what you're going to do is save it, and then you're going to add it to this shopping cart. To go over some other features of the shopping cart, say you guys only want to pay for 1 ticket, I'm going to go here and click on adjustments. I'm going to go to split payment, and here you can choose how many tickets they want to pay for. So this will allow me to pay for 1 ticket with the card and 1 ticket with cash. Here I have a reservation that has already paid. What I can do in this one is if you guys need to charge a card on file or anything like that, say the inevitable happens and you guys need to charge for damages, what you guys would do is click on this add button right here, click on adjustments right here, or click on your merchandise. I'm going to select the reservation and then I'm going to click damages next to that. Say the damage is $200 instead of $500, what I'm going to do is click on adjustments. I'm going to enter 200 and I'm going to hit apply adjustment. From there, all I'm going to do is check out and then charge the card on file for the customer. Going back to another reservation after that payment has processed. Let's say that this reservation, I want them to pay a deposit and then I'm going to collect the remaining balance at check-in. To charge a deposit, all I'm going to do is add it to the shopping carts. I'm going to click on adjustments right here. And then in deposit, I'm just going to type in the deposit. So say it's going to be $200. You would just type that in and hit apply adjustment. Instead of taking this card payment over the phone, what I'm going to do is send them a payment link. That way they can check out on their own. So what I'm going to do is click on send cart. It's going to autofill their email and their phone number if you guys have filled it in whenever you put in their contact information. And I'm going to hit send cart. If I go back to that reservation, you guys can see that there's still a balance due, meaning that they have not paid yet. This is what the link is going to look like whenever that person has gotten an email to them. All they're going to do is click on the link. It's going to take them to their shopping cart. As you can see, everything is in it. All they're going to do is click on checkout. They're going to put in their card number right here. And then they're going to hit process payment. Once that payment goes through, if I go back to my reservation calendar now, you can see that that balance is now 0, meaning that they have now paid yet. Is there any questions about any of that stuff?
We do have a question. It is, can we set when to send the final balance?
You can set an automatic timer for it. So you guys would just have to go in there whenever you guys do want to send it and then just send it at that time. But there's not a way to like schedule a send the cart feature right now. Is there any other questions or anything that anyone has?
We are having someone type, so just give me 1 second.
Okay, perfect.
And I see someone's raising their hand. If you have a question, you can put it either in the chat or in the Q&A up at the top. It looks like that is it for questions. Oh, one more. What if the cart is 0 when they receive the cart?
For that, are you talking about whenever they click on the link and it is just saying $0 and there's not like a certain balance due in it?
Sometimes that does happen if there is an issue possibly with their browser, or if it has been sent to an email address that multiple people have access to. Sometimes someone has clicked the link already. They've gone to the checkout. Even if they haven't finished checking out, once the sort of reservation moves into there, it empties the shopping cart. So we have found that sometimes it's the balance due gets lost because of that. Sometimes it's a browser issue. If they are getting an issue, I would just try sending it again and asking them to open it up in a different format. So either do it on a cell phone versus the computer, or vice versa.
I think that's all for questions.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so what I'm going to jump onto now is a little bit of refunding. Refunding is a huge, massive topic. So we're just going to cover the easy highlights, so to speak. So obviously there's different ways to refund, and it all depends what it is you want to refund and how you're going to refund. Let's go and look at refunding tickets, I think, is a good start. So let's go and look at this reservation we have here. So this reservation has 3 tickets in total on it. If we are only going to refund some of those tickets, because, for example, the 3 and under was ill, can't arrive, whatever's going to happen, you're going to go into the reservation and then into the transaction section. Open up your transaction and it's going to show you what was in this. So we had 3 tickets within this transaction here. We're going to set refund amounts and we're going to refund by ticket, because what we do here is we say this one child of $6 is no longer coming. So obviously we want to drop the ticket count down 1 so we can resell those tickets to somebody else and also refund them at the same time. So all you're going to do is select which tickets you want to refund, how many of them, set. It'll just confirm it here and then you refund it for you. Like I said, it's automatically going to change our reservation now, so we only have 2 tickets. We can resell that 3rd ticket. It automatically has refunded, and as long as they're an email on file, it'll automatically send them a copy of their refund as well. Other examples of how to refund. If, for example, here, Harry, he can't attend for whatever reason, and you are refunding everything. So you want to give him all the money back and you want to be able to resell those tickets. The easiest and quickest way is to refund the shopping cart. All you need to do is press this button here and it's going to confirm, are you sure you want to completely refund this reservation? Yes, we do. Same thing's going to happen. It's going to drop all those tickets down to 0 so that we can resell them. Price paid is 0, amount due is 0, total paid is 0. And they have again received that email that is telling them that they've had their refund. Other ways to refund. If we have 2 tickets, $11 each, they've walked up and they've got this $5 off coupon they found and you just want to give them $5 back, you still want to keep the tickets because both of those people are still attending, so you don't want to change your ticket count in any way. You just want to give them a $5 discount. So you can come in here, set refunds. Instead of doing it by tickets, we just do refund amount. And we're going to type in $5, set, and then refund it. What you'll see here is now that the price has changed, the total paid has changed. When I moved a reservation earlier from the 4-passenger to the 6-passenger, obviously that actually encountered an upcharge. Things can happen in the opposite direction. So if we are going to move a 6-passenger down to a 4-passenger, we're more than likely going to have to refund them some of that money. So if I go and find my reservation for a 6-passenger here, she has paid for a 6-passenger $470. If we're going to move that to the 4-passenger, we're going to do the same thing for moving. We're just going to hit move to a new event. I'm going to pick the 4-passenger. Like I say, 9 times out of 10, they're going to want the same date. So July 6th, we had a 2-night rental. So a 2-night rental. This was originally at 4 o'clock. We don't have 4 o'clock, but they're happy to come at 2. Reservation has moved and it has generated here that we owe them $149.80 as a refund. Obviously, nothing means you have to refund them, but if you are going to refund, it's the same process. You're going to go into the reservation, and the top part here is telling you how much that refund is before tax and how much the tax is. So it's $140 plus the tax. I'm going to go into my transaction. Has decided not to open. There we go. Set refunds amounts, and in here I'm going to type in that 140. You always need to type in the refund amount pre-tax, because once I've typed in the 140, it's going to generate for me how much tax is related to that rate. I set it and I can refund. And as before, it's going to send a nice email telling them that they've had a refund. It's going to update your transactions, and it's going to change this reservation just here to show that the total amount is paid, no refunds due. Anyone got any questions about refunding at all?
We do have two questions. The first is, do they receive an email receipt showing the refund?
Yes, as long as you have an email on file, when you refund, it'll automatically send a refund receipt.
And the second is, what about giving credit instead of a refund?
The only way you can give a credit is that you'll have to issue some sort of internal gift card. We don't have a way to actually just say, oh, you've got $10 credit. But if you want to issue gift cards, you can go up to your shopping cart. I'm not sure if we have any in our merchandise for this particular example. There's a gift card here that's set for $100, but you can make individual gift cards for however much you want. For a gift card, you just add an ad. As soon as you add it to your shopping cart, it's going to ask where you want to send the gift card to, what email address, and if you have any. The note is actually more of a message, so you can type anything you want, happy birthday, or here's $100 on us for future reservations, whatever you want to do. And then you're just going to go through and check out in the normal way. You can either check out as cash, because if you're issuing the gift card, what I say is that you'd come through here, you'd come cash, and in the actual billing name, you're probably best to put your company name so that you know that you as a company have issued it. You can also change what your cash options are. So if you have something that you often give gift cards to charities or local businesses as thank yous, you can have something that says gift cards or complimentary tickets and then just cash it out. That'll then send them a gift card that they can use at any point in the future. Have we got any other questions at all?
Those were it.
Okay. So those were the topics that we were going to cover today, which, like I say, is the very basics of making reservations, moving reservations, editing reservations, and refunding. If anyone has got any general questions they want to ask about anything, we have a few minutes so we can definitely go over that. The webinar has actually been recorded, so we will be sending out copies of it to anybody. And I would like to also mention that the customer support team is here to help you. So if you have new members of staff and you would like them to do an online training with us, just reach out to us. We can, get them on the schedule. We can do group trainings. We can do one-on-one. If there's one particular area that you just want the staff to have new training on or updates on, I'd say no problem going over that at all. And we do also send out most Fridays, we try every Friday, to send you out an email that's Friday features. As the system is developing and being updated, there's always new things coming into it. So our Friday feature emails are very much focused on, this is new in the system right now, this is how you do it, this is how it might be useful to you. So I definitely keep your eyes out for those emails because they are pretty informative. They often have a lovely video from Brooklyn showing you how to do it as well. Any other questions from anybody at all?
No, but we do have some feedback that someone loves the Friday emails, and thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. That is very nice.
Okay, well, I guess it's the end of the webinar then. If no one's got any other questions, we thank you all very much for joining us. We do appreciate it. As I say, we're going to email this out, and if you have any questions, either call into the support line or you can always email us on support@indexic.net.